Tonight, a father pleads for the safe return of his kidnapped son.
Just bring my son home.
We'll show you the clues left behind and why police didn't send out an Amber Alert.
Also tonight, is the potential immigration reform deal in danger of never becoming a reality? You'll see how Congress is picking apart the plan and why it's drawing criticism from those trying to become citizens the legal way.
I personally hope that they could do more. They could do more and in a more human way.
And the emails just won't stop. More Las Vegans want to know how to become mortgage-free faster. Tonight, the Saving You Money team tells you how you can get a lesson from the man who started it all.
We're watching out for you. This is News 3 Nightside with Nina Radetich and Jim Snyder.
Hey, good evening, everyone. We start tonight with the search for a kidnapped child, a 16-month-old boy from North Las Vegas.
This is Isaiah Jordan. It is believed he was taken by a family friend. News 3's Anjuli Porter spoke exclusively to the boy's father, and tonight she explains why police have not issued an Amber Alert.
If you have my baby, please just call and let me know he's okay.
There are a lot of people in North Las Vegas tonight concerned about this little boy.
And if Isaiah's watching, I love you, and Mommy hopes to see you soon.
According to Isaiah Jordan's mom, the 16-month-old was kidnapped last night by this man, 27-year-old Jamal Holdup, while in the care of his dad.
Jamal is a friend of Isaiah's dad's. Not a close family friend.
This is Jamar Jordan, Isaiah's dad. He says Jamal is his son's godfather and has no idea why such a good friend would ever kidnap his son.
I have no idea what's going on in his mind. I have no idea. That's $1 million question right now.
Another $1 million question, why no Amber Alert has been issued for this baby.
They said that he doesn't fit the requirements of being on the Amber Alert, because the father then said it was a close friend. No, he's not a close friend, because a close friend would not take nobody's baby like that.
Jamar says he last heard from Jamal this morning when he used a stranger's phone to call him from Barstow.
He was like, just send me some money. I was like, man, I don't have any money. I was like, how's my son doing? Where's my son? He was like, he's here with me. He's okay. He was like, just send me some money. I'm like, dude, where are you at? And then he just hung up the phone. Just bring my son home, man.
Police say Holdup took Isaiah from a home near Commerce and Gowan Road. They say he was driving a white Dodge Intrepid with temporary registration and bearing a Desert VW paper plate on the rear bumper. That child is just over a year old, 16 months to be exact, and his parents say all they really want right now is to see him returned home safely.
All right, let's hope that happens, Anjuli. Let's hope this helps. Thank you. 3 Clark County's teachers are under investigation for sexual misconduct tonight. All 3 work at Foothill High School. They have been placed on administrative leave. The school board says the alleged incidents are not related, but they did warrant investigation.
We take everything seriously, even if something that might be considered minor, because we're dealing with children and children's lives. So anything that comes to light, action is taken. And
right now, the names of those teachers have not been released, and police aren't giving any details about the sexual misconduct claims. We wanted to know exactly what administrative leave means. The district tells us the teachers are being paid and they'll be working out of their homes at least until this investigation is finished.
I don't know how your email works, but every day mine gets clogged with those forwarded messages, things people, I think you just gotta see, essays, cartoons on whatever the topic of the day is. Well, now the inbox is filling up with debate about the new plan for immigration reform. Some messages call it the path to citizenship, say it makes perfect sense, but others call it a deal for amnesty for lawbreakers. The plan is under the microscope big time in Washington right now. Seems just about every lawmaker has an idea about how to revise some part of the reform package. Nevada Senator Harry Reid says he's not sure it will make it through the Senate. And right now, there's no schedule for when that debate will start, just that it will be in the coming weeks. A lot of the response we're getting is coming from people who are trying to become American citizens through the legal channels as they exist now. They have to deal with a lot of red tape. And as News 3's Rob McMillen explains, some of them are not happy about the plan to cut some of that red tape.
Immigration laws in the U.S. haven't changed in more than 10 years. And with all of the problems associated with illegal immigration, many say it's high time those laws be reworked. But is this latest compromise the answer? Some aren't so sure.
I personally hope that they could do more. They could do more and in a more human way.
Immigration attorney Riza Athari says he has 3,000 clients, people who he says even if this bill passes will be scared to come out of the shadows. And here's why. He says his interpretation of the proposed law is such that illegal immigrants would have to leave the country to get their 2-year Z visa and then they'll be let back in. But what if they're not let back in?
They think that going to the American consulate without guarantees, they are scared to do that. And I would not really recommend any of my clients to leave United States, go for a Z visa to the American consulate without knowing that the 3 to 10 year bar will not apply to them.
He says one of his clients is afraid to even go to work because he might be deported.
And he says, well, I have a family to support. I cannot work and how can I bring bread to my family? You know, they have 2 kids and they live in a remote area. It's really, you know, it breaks your heart when you hear their stories. But what can you do?
Others say if the bill does become law, there would be resentment by those who've waited years to come here legally, just to watch illegal immigrants have the same chance.
I know it's a resentment by people, even Mexicans, other Mexicans or other people have gone through the process, and let's say, and these individuals have come in illegally, and now they're going to get preferential treatment.
It's important to point out nothing's become a new law yet, but there are still tens of thousands of people here in Las Vegas who want to see that happen. Rob McMillen, News 3.
This is one of those divisive issues that could impact next year's election, and we want to know where you stand on this right now. Here's your chance to take part in our News 3 Insta poll. We've been running the question all night, do you support the new immigration plan? You can tell us your answer by texting the words KVBC yes or KVBC no to 70777. Got to know each message is going to cost you 99 cents, so keep that in mind, and we'll show you the results of this poll a little later in this newscast.
Now to the death of Sergeant Anthony Schober of Nevada, a soldier who was at first believed to have been kidnapped in Iraq. The news of his death came down right in the middle of our newscast last night. The 23-year-old was killed in an ambush over the weekend. There was confusion, and his family didn't get the right information until last night. Schober's parents spoke for the first time today. News 3's Denise Rosch has the story.
It really changed from a boy to a man.
Edward Schober says his son Anthony never looked back after joining the military, a decision he made at an early age.
At the age of 17, he came to me and said he wanted to join the Army. He was affected by the 9/11 incident.
Schober was one of 4 soldiers killed over the weekend in an ambush outside of Baghdad. 3 others were captured. While the search for those men continues, members of Schober's unit grieve for their fallen comrades.
The night before, I was watching TV with these guys, you know, joking with them. They're all heroes. They all did their job.
But nowhere is the loss felt more than with the families.
His sister Rebecca says he looks up to him, physically and emotionally. He was her hero, and she thought Anthony was invisible.
Sergeant Anthony Schober wasn't born with his last name. He was adopted by his stepfather at age 5, just a few years after he began dating Anthony's mom. But the bond between man and child was immediate.
The first thing he did when I met him, she wrapped his arms around my neck and called me Dad.
An experience Schober says he'll never forget, something he knows can never be repeated.
want everybody to know that my hearts are with the families and the soldiers still unaccounted for, and my prayers go with them too.
Denise Rosch, News 3.
Sergeant Schober's body had to be identified through DNA. That's why it took so long for the military to figure out he was one of the casualties of that initial ambush. He's survived by his mother, father, and 2 sisters. Meantime, in Iraq, the search continues for those missing U.S. soldiers. It's believed that some of the Iraqis detained this week may have been directly involved in the ambush, which happened 12 miles south of Baghdad. FBI agents and Australian forensic experts have joined in the search. The Pentagon says the last 5 days have produced a number of leads that point to the fact that these men are still alive.
With our temperatures heating up, Dana's been talking a lot about the potential for a very bad wildfire season ahead. Tonight, firefighters up near Reno have their hands full already. This fire is burning north of Interstate 80. The smoke is so thick that cars and trucks are moving at a crawl on the freeway. Fires burned about 300 acres so far. You can see they're using a helicopter there to dump water from above. Right now, they can't say when it might be contained. Last year in southern Nevada, firefighters responded to 235 separate fires, and they expect to be just as busy this year.
Some potentially big news for travelers who use McCarran Airport. A new low-cost airline is putting Las Vegas on its flight plan. Today, the federal government gave final approval for Virgin America, an offshoot of the London-based Virgin Atlantic Airways. Steve Crupi is live at the airport tonight. Steve, it hasn't been easy for this new airline to get approved.
It sure hasn't, Nina, and that's because of U.S. laws that prevent foreign ownership of U.S. airlines. The new Virgin America would be a domestic carrier here in the U.S., and their service would be based on the type of thing we've come to expect from Southwest Airlines.
25 right, and we'll call ground. Good day.
For the past 7 years, London-based Virgin Atlantic has been flying in and out of Las Vegas, but that airline is only allowed to fly internationally. Domestic routes in the U.S. have been the exclusive privilege of domestically owned airlines. Virgin's founder, billionaire Richard Branson, has long expressed his desire to have a U.S.-based airline, and customers here in Las Vegas have expressed their desire for more choices when they fly. Would you prefer to see more of these new airlines?
Absolutely. You know, it just makes things so much easier.
I should do. That way no one will be waiting. And you can, if you don't get service from this airline, you definitely get it from another.
I certainly think that cheaper airlines and more airlines that could bring the people in to support our economy, absolutely.
In order to get approved, Virgin America has agreed to have a predominantly American management team, and 75% of its stock will be held by American investors. Before the end of the year, the airline hopes to begin low-cost service between San Francisco and New York, with Las Vegas being added within a year. And within 5 years, Virgin America is planning on up to 30 cities worth of service throughout the United States. So they, as of today, do have the official government okay they need in order to start this airline. Reporting live, I'm Steve Crupi. Nina, back to you.
Steve, thank you. This could create some competition and potentially add to the crowding at McCarran Airport. Earlier this week, we talked about the need to expand in order to keep up with the tourism industry, and the numbers tell the story here. More than 4 million people moved through McCarran in just March of this year. That's an increase from '06. Now, take the entire year so far, more than 11 million total have already come through the airport. That's also an increase. And remember, the latest numbers are just from March, so right now it's got to be even higher. Southwest is the most popular airline at McCarran. We'll have to wait and see whether Virgin America can compete here in southern Nevada.
You know, we talk a lot about how we're watching out for you. It's a line a bunch of the anchors who work here came up with in a room one day. We like to think it's not just a catchphrase. Tonight we can show you some evidence of that. On Monday, we brought you the story of local families who said they were scammed by a business called Furniture Gallery. We sent Gerard Romalo out. He took those complaints right to the owner. We showed you that night, and we asked why he claimed to be a part of the Better Business Bureau when that wasn't the case. Well, tonight the family we talked with has finally got their furniture, and it turns out right after our story aired, temporary furniture was sent over to help ease their trouble. You saw they were sitting in lawn chairs in the living room. The owner is also taking care of the rest of the complaints, and it looks like all the trouble is being worked out. We like it when it works out that way. It's why we're here. And speaking of that, I have an exciting update for you tonight on our campaign to help you pay off your mortgage. If you missed our story on this groundbreaking new strategy the other night, go check it out at KVBC.com. We profiled a local valet attendant who will pay off his mortgage in less than 5 years. He was planning on 30 years before that, like most of us are. Now the Saving You Money team is working to bring you a way to get in on the same strategy, but for free. A lot of companies charge you good money for this, so keep the emails coming. Understand that hundreds of people are involved in this now, but take my word, you will all hear back from me eventually. It's going to be a busy weekend for me at the laptop. And here's the real news tonight. We've invited the original architect of this plan to come to Las Vegas next week on our dime, so he'll be here to answer your questions. We're still getting it all worked out, so all I can say is just keep watching us. I'll update you as we get new information, and I promise we'll get the plan for all this together by next Wednesday.
This is what we call a talker in the business. There's still time to get your tickets to Nina's Night Out, our 4th annual benefit for the Rape Crisis Center. This year, our featured performer is multi-platinum recording artist Avril Lavigne. She'll be performing at the Pearl at the Palms on Thursday, June 7th. It's their brand new concert venue, gorgeous venue. Just go to our website for ticket information. Hope to see you there. And also should mention that Integrity Chrysler has donated this car, a brand new Chrysler 300, for us to raffle off. If you'd like to buy raffle tickets, just head down to the Golf Expo tomorrow at Bass Pro Shops at the Silverton. I'll be broadcasting live with my friends from Star 102.7. We'll be there all day, but the live broadcast is from 10 to noon. Tickets are just $50. You have a 1 in 3,000 chance of winning, so a great shot at winning that car.
Yeah, bring the kids down to the Silverton. That Bass is quite a store to check out.
I haven't seen it yet. I'm excited to go down there. Yeah.
They have a huge indoor fish tank with giant fish inside the Silverton. It is. It's awesome. For one of the movies here, they had I can't remember who it was.
Swimming in it.
Yeah, she was swimming in the tank, and they cut it out of the scene. So anyway, yeah.
You got another idea? The Lucky You? What was it called?
Lucky You.
Yeah,
that was it. Right.
We can't remember
Jason,
the actress.
Our movie buff and producer of this broadcast.
That's right. Well, it's going to be warm out there this weekend, and the El Dorado Days Parade is going to take place tomorrow night. Not during the day. They changed it to nighttime.
Good idea.
Good idea, right?
Yeah,
remember riding around in that a couple of years ago?
Yep.
It was hot. That was 2 years ago for the Centennial. It starts downtown on 4th Street from Gas to Stewart. And they resurrected this thing because of the Centennial a couple of years ago. And if folks don't show up tomorrow night, they may cancel it again. Because last year it was not well attended. 2 years ago it was, but not last year. All right, let's go to the weather computer now. Hey, isn't that nice? Right on cue, the Bellagio fountains outside. I know, I just had it aimed at that. I was hoping that they would run it. It's a great night to be outside watching the Bellagio fountain. Las Vegas under siege, day 10 and counting. 95 degrees or higher for the last week and a half, and that's going to remain the same through the weekend. I don't see any highs below 90 as we get into the weekend. Tomorrow, more of the same. Lots of sunshine, light winds in the morning, picking up in the afternoon, and close to 100 tomorrow. This is a time lapse for the Fitzgerald's camera. I'm holding something in my hand. Have you noticed that? That's a $50 gas card. We have free gas.
I'll take it.
I know you would. I'll tell you how you can get one of these $50 gas cards coming up in just a moment, okay? $50 in free gas from your friends here at Channel 3.
That's almost a tank full these days.
Yeah, that's about a half a tank full.
Right.
83, that's sad, but true. 83 is the current temp, winds out of the southwest at 6. That's kind of funny, but it is true. 98 today for a high. We almost made it to 100. We have not had one day this year where we've hit 100. Not one. Officially at the airport. Some spots in the valley have made it to 100, not at the airport. It's still 10 above the average. We're supposed to be in the upper 80s. We're in the upper 90s. 103 is the record, so we're only 5 away from that. For instance, we did hit 100 today downtown at Charleston and the Boulevard from our Water Smart weather station there. Elsewhere across the valley into the 90s, 94 at Lakes East and 95 at Spring Valley. And from around the state and beyond, 101 down in Phoenix today. Much cooler air along the coast. 64 at San Francisco, 70 in LA, made it up to 87 in northern Nevada at Reno. Very clear over the top of us. It's high pressure. But to the east, we had some moisture, afternoon convection, and a few showers. All of it was east of the Continental Divide, and there it will stay. The Futurecast wants to bring more showers near the Four Corners area, but nothing west of the Rockies. So here, more sun, more warm temps. And the Preakness is tomorrow. The second jewel of the Triple Crown, the Preakness Stakes. 2 o'clock begins the coverage here on Channel 3. Mostly cloudy and a chance of rain with a high of 65. Tonight in the valley, 73. Winds anywhere from 5 to 10. Clear skies. It's a nice night to be out on the patio. 102 in Mesquite tomorrow, in Overton and Lake Mead. 104 down at Laughlin. 95 degrees at Pahrump, 99 at Boulder City. Las Vegas, we're going to top out at 98 degrees. Light winds in the morning, 5 to 15 in the afternoon, maybe some gusts higher than that. And Wagner's week, lots of sun, afternoon wind, little bit, Highs in the upper 90s this weekend, and then next week a high of 91 by Tuesday. We break out of the 95s by next week.
Now, I'm going to have a stack of these to hand out on Monday at 5 o'clock. To find out where I'm going to be in town, you have to watch Monday at 4 o'clock. First News 3 at 4. We're going to give you some hints. You come find me, I can give you a gas card for $50.
That's great.
Yeah, should be a lot of fun.
A lot of good information coming from the Saving
Well,
Money team.
that's right. It's been a good week. Yeah, thank you. I want to take a look now at the latest results from our News 3 Insta poll. Remember, we asked whether you support the new immigration reform proposed in Congress. You can see right now, yes, 44% saying they support it. No, 56%, the majority. We posted more information about the immigration plan on our website. And here's a look at some other stories you can see right now on KVBC.com. The Luxor bombing suspects in court. See why police say one had the motive, the other had the experience. Plus, we're getting a lot of calls about our Healthline 3 report on a new wrinkle remedy. This one claims to last forever. Find out what Beth Fisher found. And Southern Nevada's hidden treasures. Tonight, Tom Hawley takes a look inside the Atomic Testing Museum. Those stories and more right now on KVBC.com.
Even when he doesn't show up, Michael Jackson can still draw a big crowd anywhere in Las Vegas.
Today, fans were lining up for a show, but they were hoping for some courtroom fireworks.
We prevailed and beat him in a lawsuit, which gave us clear title to the memorabilia.
Still ahead on Nightside, Alicia Jacobs explains why the King of Pop can't stop a memorabilia auction set to happen here in town. And we'll run down the list of items available, see what you could get your hands on. Plus,
hundreds of thousands of people play these every day. If your numbers match, win that prize. My numbers match.
But he didn't get the prize. It's the $500,000 misprint. Find out why that guy in Florida cannot cash in his lotto ticket, even though it had the winning numbers on it.
Closed captioning sponsored by Rob Graham and Associates.
You need a living trust or will? We've helped thousands just like you. Call Rob Graham and Associates at 255-6161 for an appointment.
Well, it's been all about Paris Hilton lately, but finally we're back on Jacko Patrol. Michael Jackson failed to block an auction of his personal belongings earlier today. He was a no-show in court, but his lawyer told the judge that a confidential agreement had been reached with the auctioneer. Jackson's lawyers dropped a lawsuit against Universal Express, the company hoping to make millions by auctioning off the pop star's memorabilia, among other things. Although Jacko never appeared in court, no surprise there, a large group for the defendants were happy to report the auction book is ready, making today's event seem more like a publicity stunt rather than a court proceeding. But the defendants argue otherwise.
Oh, not the case. No, there were serious matters at dispute here, and the parties take the use of the courts here in the United States very seriously.
Clearly, I'm not at liberty to discuss any of the terms that have occurred. This is the catalog, and this is the first glimpse of it. You guys are seeing it.
Among the 1,000 items up for sale, handwritten lyrics for the Jackson 5 hit ABC, Michael's Platinum Award for Rock With You, and the 1987 contract for his purchase of Neverland Ranch. And some pretty creepy things, like a couple of paintings Jacko made of naked boys, skin whitening creams, and some of the old records in his sealed molestation court case. Odds are today's confidential agreement is all about leaving that stuff hidden forever. Back to you guys.
Right now we have a story that kind of brings back memories of a Seinfeld episode, if you're as into that show as I am with the reruns. Remember the Bubble Boy, the misprinted card for Trivial Pursuit? Well, a guy in Florida thought he'd won $500,000, and now he has to fight for that jackpot. Florida lottery officials say a scratch-off ticket held by Joe Curcio appears to be a misprint. No, it doesn't say moops like in the Seinfeld thing. This ticket has the number 1 on the top row and a number 1 above the scratch-off piece. That makes it look like a winner, but Curcio says lottery officials told him the top number really was a 13. That was misprinted.
Hundreds of thousands of people play these every day. If your numbers match, win that prize. My numbers match.
Listen, if I make a mistake in anything, I say, listen, I made a mistake, I'm going to eat the mistake. I owe these people, I'm going to pay these people. That's the way we are. And I expect that from the state of Florida, too.
There you go. How can you disagree? Pay him the money and deduct it from the payment to the printer. Curcio has hired an attorney to pursue his claim.
That's a big moops.
Yes, it is. Oops.
Coming up, Rick Strasser tells us the story of a small school playing large in the state baseball tournament.
Plus, Gladiators try to end a very ugly streak. It's all next in sports here on News 3 Nightside.
Welcome back. The Gladiators hit the field tonight for the first time with the knowledge that their head coach will not be around next season. Earlier this week, Danton Bartow was told his first year in Las Vegas would be his last. Utah on a 4-game skid of its own. Las Vegas coming in, losers of 9 straight. Joe Germain to Saya Burley is loose, gone for the score. Here we go again, right? Utah opened up a 21-0 lead. But, I say it again, but the Gladiators came back. Nick Rolovich in his first start in the AFL threw for 317 yards, 7 touchdowns, 4 to former Utah Ute Travis Latendresse. And get this, the Gladiators kick a field goal as time expires and win. 54-53 the final, just the second victory in the last 18 games. In the NBA, the Suns back to full strength, trying to stave off elimination against the Spurs. Late second, Steve Nash to former Rebel Sean Marion with the flush. Spurs by 2 at the break. Fourth quarter, San Antonio opens a big lead. Manu Ginobili from the corner, firing up. Bottom and 1. They open a 17-point lead. San Antonio and Denver in the Western Finals, 114-106. The state baseball tournament continued today throughout Southern Nevada. A 1A team continues to make some noise. With a high school student body of 112, Calvary Chapel has more than 10% of their population on the baseball team. Despite small numbers, the Lions have played large this year. They went unbeaten and unscored upon through league play. Today in the 1A second round, Calvary finally yielded a run, just one, in a 13-1 win over Paranagant Valley. But despite starting 7 freshmen on the team, the Lions are on the doorstep of a state crown.
They're unbelievable when it comes to the baseball side. They've been playing club ball for years, and they've traveled around all over the country playing in different places, so they never seem phased.
Most of the teams play a lot of seniors and juniors. We're the only freshman team, basically. So we're happy we're making this far.
Our camaraderie is good. After the game, we all go out and pray around the mound. We're all in it together. Anything short of a state title is disappointment to me, and I know for the rest of my team it's the same thing. We've been striving for this since March or February, so we're looking forward to this.
Break out the suntan lotion as Arborview had to face Galena in the 4A elimination game. The Grizzlies knocked Green Valley out earlier in the day. Great effort here by Robbie Garvey in center field. Can't get the runner back at second. Later on the pickoff attempt, Upe, ball gets away on the pickoff move. Matthew Evans comes all the way around from second to score, put the Grizzlies up 6-1. Galena adds to it. Galena and Bishop Gorman for all the marbles tomorrow morning after the 8-1 win. Of course, Bishop Gorman is the defending champ. Earlier I said Denver going to the finals. It's not, it's Utah. I knew that.
Okay.
I think I knew that.
We got it. We'll be right back. We found a way to save you some gas.
It's a method UPS uses, and it saved them millions of gallons and millions of dollars every month.
I tested it out, and not only did it save me some money at the pump, it saved me some time, too.
Your key to savings, Monday at 4 and 11.